Mrs. Ruth.
Hi.
Good morning, Miss Glenn. How are you both?
We're good.
Good, okay. Well, my name is Salamo Nikolai. I'm going to be your mediator tonight. Just a few ground rules before we start the mediation. Please make sure that you're both respectful to each other. I'll give you both time to speak, equal time to speak on a certain topic, so you'll both have chances. So please don't speak over each other. Other than that, I just want to tell you guys that this is a safe zone. Everything we say here is confidential, so be free and be as open as you can. If you want a water break at any point in time or a bathroom break, please don't hesitate to ask me. That way we can call a break and reconvene afterwards. Is that okay with you both?
Yes.
Okay. I'll be taking some notes while you guys speak so that I know what the comprehensive issue is. Is that okay with you both?
Yes.
Alright, thank you. Okay, so Mrs. Ruth, you want to start and tell me how these conflicts arose with your daughter Glenn?
Let's talk about the problem and we have to tell you the story. The story is, once me and my husband got married, we found out that we couldn't have kids. And we've tried multiple medical treatments that weren't effective. After that, my husband found this great opportunity to teach in Addis Ababa University, Ethiopia, for a year. I tagged along because it was a year and we were married.
Mm-hmm.
Once we got there, a couple of weeks later, actually, we found this little girl in the hospital where I used to work. I'm a nurse. Her parents got killed in a car accident. She had no parents. And in Ethiopia, there are many homeless children, and they didn't know where to put her. So we took this opportunity. She was 3 months old, so we took this opportunity to take advantage. We adopted her, and we didn't see the need of telling our family members. We wanted her to have a normal childhood, so we kept the secret, and she grew up. We took her back after a year. After staying there for a year, we took her back. We brought her back here. We raised her as our own. We did nothing to disappoint her. Me and my husband were both happy that we found a daughter, and I think it was pretty good that she found parents.
Mm-hmm.
After a while, as you can see, she's 18 now. A few months earlier, she was going out on a date, so she wanted to borrow jewelry from me. She was going through my safe, where she found certificates of her adoption. She died. So that's when all the problems started.
Okay. So what you're telling me is that after different medical treatments to get a baby, you could not, and when your husband went abroad, you followed him there, and
Yes.
there you found little Glenn, and then you adopted her and brought her to the U.S., and you did not disclose that she was adopted because you wanted her to have a normal childhood. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, Miss Glenn, what do you think about this issue?
Well, before, I found out, I was, really good in school and stuff, and I had, amazing friends that I, loved and cared about, and I cared about my family. But then once I found out the certificate, and, I did not know what else I was not told. Everything that I believed to be true is not true anymore. And, I was really upset to find out that my parents lied to me about this because I trusted them with everything, and I thought they would tell me the truth about everything. And they didn't even consider, what it would mean to me to know the truth about where I'm from and that I have other biological parents. And I did not know what to do. I was distracted, and I didn't care about school anymore. I didn't care about my friends who cared about me, so I just acted out, and I did not care what happened to me after that.
So you're upset that your parents had lied to you.
Yes, very.
About the situation, and you are mad about that you did not know about your heritage, which you would have liked to know, and you would have liked your parents to actually let you know about that issue. Is that correct? Okay. So, Ms. Ruth, you have heard what Glenn had to say. What do you think about her response to this issue?
Well, the only reason we kept it from you was, okay. The only reason why we kept it from her was because we didn't want her to find out that way. That the parents she didn't have, the parents that she didn't even know existed, were gone. True, they had family members, but they were not financially stable to raise a child. So we took care of that. I think we wanted to introduce her, but her family or the heritage that she came from was it is meaningful, but we didn't want her to get hurt in the process of all this. So we were trying to keep her safe.
Okay. So in order not to hurt her, her heritage and where she's from, that's why you kept it from her, that she was adopted.
We didn't want her to get hurt. That the parent that she didn't even know
Mm-hmm.
existed were gone. She doesn't have a chance to know them.
Okay.
So we were trying to keep her safe from that information.
So you were sheltering your daughter from
Exactly.
her. Okay. Glenn, what do you think about what your mother just said?
I don't agree with it at all because, like, how are they supposed to know that I was gonna get hurt? And even if I was gonna get hurt, that doesn't mean I don't deserve to know the truth. And, like, they should have tried harder to make me meet my family because even though they were not financially able to take care of me, I am still, like, supposed to know them. They're my family, they're my blood. And they did not even consider the fact that that was important. They just cared, okay, she's gonna get hurt, so we should not introduce her. It doesn't matter whether I get hurt or not, I deserve to know the truth.
So you think they should have considered your feelings in the sense of you knowing would have meant more to you, so you should have had a say in whether or not you were told.
Yes.
Okay. Miss Ruth, what do you think of Glenn's response?
To hear that from her was really painful, I can tell you. That she thinks blood is family. I didn't do anything. My husband didn't do anything wrong. We raised her. We treated her more than family. I mean, she is our daughter. And if she thinks blood is more than family, I don't understand. She thinks blood is family. It's very disappointing. I don't understand.
So you feel like since you have raised her, that you should be more important?
Not really. How do I explain this to you? Like, it was painful to hear from her that blood was family to her. I understand that she thought we were her family. I mean, I could say that we still are. We raised her as our own. I know we did wrong by not introducing her to her family, but every time we thought about it, we thought about her parents, and the way they were gone was tragic. It was sudden, so I didn't want her to get hurt in the process.
So you didn't want to convey to her that her parents were dead and that would lead her to more hurt.
Exactly.
So you were keeping her from that so that she won't get hurt in the process. Glenn, what do you think about this?
I mean, I'm not gonna deny that I'm very grateful for them to raise me as their own when it was so sudden that my biological parents were killed. But I still would have been a part of that family if that did not happen, and I think I deserved to meet at least a part of what that could have been, which is their brothers, their sisters, where they were, the country, the city, the culture. And that part, like, I feel like I miss a big part of what could have been me or what I am a part of. And I always knew that there was some, like, that I did not belong because I knew that I did not look like my parents. But I just didn't really think about it that much because how was I supposed to know that my parents were killed in a car accident and I was adopted? So I never dwelled on it. But now, like, that I know the truth, I see, like, my life could have been better if I knew the truth, and I could have visited my country where my biological parents are from, like, studied the culture, and would have been a better person in the end.
So you feel like you could have learned more about your culture and that you feel like you are missing some of yourself and your heritage because you were not told that you were adopted at that moment.
Yes.
Okay. So, how does that make you feel that your daughter thinks that she should have known about it, so that like at least she could have gotten a bit of the culture that she's from that experience?
I believe it's true. I know we did wrong, but when you see one, like, when we found her, it was a blessing to us, and we felt like to introduce her to her family, we'd be losing her. She would think they're more important, I believe, because she's related to them, and we felt, I honestly, this was my opinion, not my husband's, I felt like she would go away. I felt like she would, I felt like I would lose her as my daughter. And without even knowing it, her finding the certificates in the safe, I lost my daughter that day. She started drinking to the point where she would pass out. I would find her 4 or 5 times a week, passed out on the couch, house messy, her room, I don't even want to talk about her room. She would bring boys at night. I don't want my daughter to end up this way. And this is painful to me, to see her this way. I've tried to talk to her. She does not listen. It got worse and worse, and that's why I contacted you.
So you're saying that your daughter has been really upset about the situation, and she's been going through a lot of stuff and not doing the right chores in the house, as you said, or not. Is it a rule not to bring guys into the house by any chance?
If she's dating the guy, we told her, we talked about this, she usually introduces him to us,
Okay.
and if they're dating.
Okay, so not bringing a guy in the house if you have not been introduced.
Yes.
Okay, and
Not only does she bring them,
mhm.
she bring them to be sexually active with them. We could hear them. We couldn't do anything because she would lock the room. She would put loud music so she wouldn't hear us. I wouldn't call the police on my daughter. She is my daughter. I didn't want her to get in trouble, but
Okay. So, the things that I'm hearing from your mother, Len, is that you obviously are going through some stuff, a lot of hard stuff actually, and you have been bringing a lot of boys into the house, as your mama said, drinking a lot, and you are underage at this point. You're 18, am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and not doing some house chores. So, what do you have to say about that?
Well, after I found out the truth that I was adopted, I honestly did not care what happened to me or what I did, because I knew that I was lied to my whole life basically. So there was no one who actually cared enough to tell me the truth, and there was no one that I was gonna disappoint, because my family lied to me about everything. So I did not care what I did. I was just too distracted to care about school. I just did not want to think about it, so that's why I turned to alcohol. The alcohol just made all the pain go away, and I did not think about it. So that's why just after the alcohol came the boys, I did not care. And that's why I just kept doing it. No one cared about me to tell me the truth. So I turned to alcohol.
So you're saying you're using alcohol as a coping mechanism,
Yes.
through the things that you were going through.
Yes.
Okay, so Miss Ruth, or listening to what your daughter has to say about why she's been acting out and how she's feeling and how she was hurt, what do you think is a good solution moving forward through this? Because from what you've told me, it seems that you're having a hard time. You're both having a hard time coping with the situation, and so what do you think would be a plausible solution for the boys, the drinking and the messiness of the house?
I brought up these ideas multiple times in our house. I wanted her to talk to somebody, a psychiatrist or something. I understand that she can't come and talk to me about this because me and my husband were the ones that lied to her. Even though it was to keep her safe, she considered it as a bad thing. I think she should talk to somebody, and the drinking and the boys eventually have to stop. I don't believe alcohol is the solution to all this. And as a nurse, I see many underage students, children, coming to pump their guts out because of alcohol poisoning. I do not want my daughter to end up that way. So I believe she needs to talk to somebody, because I'm actually really happy she agreed to come here and talk to you. And I think that's the solution. That's the only solution I can bring.
Okay. Well, Glenn, what do you think is a possible solution in your mind about the situation?
I mean, I don't know where my mind is at right now because I honestly do not know how to move past this because there's just such a big hole in my heart that my parents hurt me so much, and I feel like they would have never told me if I did not find out. And that part really hurts me. I mean, I'm open to talking to someone about this, but I don't know how to move forward with my parents because I don't trust them and I don't know how to return to trusting them again.
Okay, so the issue with you is trust and trusting your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and because I've heard you relay that information again and again about being lied to and about not trusting them, in what way do you think that you can regain that trust with your parents moving forward? Like, do you have a certain idea of how you would want to go about that?
Obviously, time is one big thing. I need time to understand and get myself together with what happened because this is such a big thing, and I would honestly love my parents to tell me every information they have about my past before I basically became their daughter. I want to know as much as I can about my biological family, how my parents were, and as much as I can about the culture basically because that's a part of who I am and that's something completely new to me and I would love to know that. And I guess just time with my parents and them telling me and helping me as much as they can.
Okay, so what I'm hearing you say, Glenn, is that first of all you need time to cope with this and what you're going through, and that you're open to talking to someone, which your mom has suggested that she would like to talk to you. So you both agree that you would be open to talking to a certain person, and that you'd want more of an honest relationship with your parents where they disclose more information about your heritage and your past and your family. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's good. So, Miss Ruth, hearing what your daughter has said about getting more time, giving you and your husband, giving her more time, you telling her and disclosing more information to her in all honesty, and trying to help her through this. What do you think about this?
All I want is my daughter to be safe. If she can keep herself from doing these bad things, I believe me and my husband can find ways to fly back to Ethiopia, to introduce her to her family, find out about her biological parents and how they were, as she said. As long as she is obeying the rules, I don't think there's any reason why we can.
So I'm hearing you say rules and a lot during the discussion. Could you convey to me what exactly some of the rules are that you want implemented in the house?
Not only